Hello friends, we have been looking at the most important topic, desires. Today we will wrap it up and start with another interesting and important topic, namely detachment, Vairagya. We saw yesterday that desire is not necessary for action. I will say that situation around us moves us into action even without a desire. For that, let me define desire as a future worldly scenario that I intensely want to materialize. Moreover, if that desire is not fulfilled, I will feel bad, grievous, miserable. For example, desire for passing an examination, desire for getting a promotion, desire to get cured of some illness, etc. Such a desire is not the only engine for activity. Even the prevailing situation itself will prompt me to act in a particular way, although I may not have any particular desire driving me. In other words, there are certain demands of every given situation, and I will be moved into appropriate action on the basis of those demands. It is said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita that no human being can be without action even for one moment. If nothing else, at least breathing is going on all the time without our being very conscious of it. And that is action of pranas, that is life forces. But on a practical level, for example, even if I have no desire to pass an examination, my parents may put pressure on me to study. Or seeing my friends study, I will also study, even if I may not be bothered about passing or failing in the examination as such. Maybe I will study because friends are not available for playing. Now I know that a doubting Thomas will say that I still have a desire not to defy my parents, a desire to keep up with my friends and not to feel left behind, a desire to prevent boredom. But in the background of the definition of desire given at the beginning, these are not desires. They are simply a work path. Even if I don't pass the examination, I will not be feeling bad because I did not quite have the desire to pass in the first place. Even if I have no desire to get a promotion, the work situation may demand that I work hard, like a stiff deadline to be met for delivery of goods. Again, wanting to meet the deadline is not a desire, but the deadline is simply defining a certain hard work path for me in the given situation, where I consider it my responsibility. Even if I don't meet the deadline, I won't be bothered because I have no desire to show a good performance for qualifying for promotion. And having worked hard, my conscience is clear that I did my best, and not getting promotion or getting promotion is immaterial. Even if I have no desire for getting cured, seeing the earnestness in the eyes of my loved ones, I may take the medicine, engage in the prescribed exercises, etc. Even if I don't get cured, I am not bothered because I never had that desire. Taking medicines and exercises is simply a work path defined by the situation. Action on our part may continue even out of a sense of duty, rather than for fulfilling any sensual or egoistic desires. And when we are doing something out of a sense of duty and not for fulfilling our desire. Our mental state is calm and composed instead of being agitated. Moreover, lack of desire means we have no particular expectation about the outcome of our action. The action is for its own sake, as a duty, rather than for this or that outcome. I will wrap up the topic of desire here, and we'll get on to the next important topic of Vairagya, that is detachment or dispassion. Disinterest in worldly life is essential for spiritual pursuit. I will start with a small story. One evening, I was standing in the balcony of my house, watching some kids playing outside the building. When it started getting dark, the mother of one of the kids called out to him and asked him to come home. The kid barely acknowledged his mother's call, but continued playing. Another lady called out to her son, who stopped playing immediately and went home promptly. Excuse me. I had noticed that this kid had already excuse me. I had noticed that this kid had already started getting a little bored. The rest of the kids kept playing till it became really dark, and after that also they kept chatting. Why have I described this scenario, which must be pretty common? The reason is that I see a parallel to it in the spiritual pursuit. Some of us are like that first kid. We get some knowledge from scriptures, etc., that our real identity is not the bodily identity, and that our home is not this world, but something else, and that we need to return home as soon as possible. However, we barely listen to that and continue playing in this world. Very few are like the second kid. They are already becoming disinterested in the physical world. So they listen to the scriptural advice and promptly turn away from the physical world to return home. Finally, there are the rest who are not even aware of their true identity, and hence they continue loving the physical world. Thus we can see that it is certainly necessary to have the knowledge of our true identity. But that knowledge is not enough to make us actually work towards realizing it. That knowledge has to be supplemented by a disinterest in the physical world. Only then can we turn away from the physical world and eventually return home, that is, get liberated. I will stop here. We will continue the next time on this important topic of Vairagya or dispassion. Thank you. See you.